So, some clinicians have concerns about using shared decision making in their practice. And I want to reassure you about that because there's some quite clear guidance on how we should be using shared decision making in our practice. For a start, the General Medical Council in the UK has issued guidance around decision making and consent, which specifically tells us that we should be adhering to the principles of shared decision making. So, by following those principles, we're going to be adhering to good practice as recommended by our regulatory body. The GMC guidance says that patients should feel listened to, so we should be able to listen to what's important to them, and we should present reasonable alternatives together with their risks and benefits. That's exactly what we're going to do with shared decision making in the TMAX Choice trial. NICE has already also had a look at shared decision making and has issued guidance around how we should use it. And it specifically called out the use of the 3-talk model, which we're going to use in the TMAX Choice trial. And lastly, there's training opportunities available from medical protection societies. So I happen to be with the Medical Protection Society in the UK to provide my indemnity insurance. And they provided specific training, which I took advantage of, on the use of shared decision making in our practice. Some people describe it as an ethical imperative to use shared decision making so that patients actually have an opportunity to be fully informed about their care, to have their preferences and values listened to understand what the different alternatives for their care are, together with the risks and benefits, and to be involved in the decision-making process about their care. That's essentially all that we're doing in this trial. Now, there's one more question I want to answer in this short video. And that's, but shared decision making is okay for low risk patients because it's reasonable for them to decide to go home and not have any more tests. But what about the high risk patients? Well, we specifically addressed that when we designed the TMAX Choice trial by going to patient groups. And we asked the patient groups, is there a ceiling to the risk that we should set where we say, actually, we shouldn't use shared decision making because, that's just dangerous. And they very clearly told us, no, there should be no ceiling to the risk. Every patient should have the opportunity to engage in shared decision making, no matter what the risk. And so long as they've got mental capacity to engage in the decision making process, which we have a responsibility to ensure, then it's again just still good practice that we should be listening to their preferences and values, presenting reasonable alternatives to their care. So that's why we include all patients, including those who are at high risk, in the TMAX Choice trial, to engage in shared decision making.